Hey guys, today is the day that we're going to finish the last chapter of the story called The K. And so we're going to just review a little bit about what happened yesterday. Philip and Stu Cat had, there was a plane that was overhead. Philip heard the plane, Stu Cat saw the plane, and they thought for sure we're going to be rescued, we're going to be rescued. And the plane left. The plane left. So they were very, just in despair. He said, I'll read this last little bit to you before I start the new chapter. Feeling very ill, I climbed the slope again, throwing myself down on the mat in the hut. I didn't cry. There was no use in doing that. I wanted to die. After a while, I looked over Timothy's grave. I said, why didn't you take us with you? So nobody's there to rescue, and it's a very sad situation there for them. So chapter 19. It was about noon when I heard the bell. It sounded like bells I'd heard in St. Anna Bay and in the Shottegat. Small boats and tugs used them to tell the engineer to go slow or fast or put the engines in reverse. For a moment, I thought I was dreaming. Then I heard the bell again, and with it, the slow chugging of an engine. And voices. They were coming from East Beach. I ran down there. Yes, a small boat had come into the Devil's Mouth and was approaching our quay. I yelled, I'm here! I'm here! There was a shout from across the water, a man's voice. We see you! I stood there on East Beach, Stu Cat by my feet, looking in the direction of the sounds. I heard the bell again. Then the engine went into reverse, the propeller thrashing. Someone yelled, Jump, Scotty! The water's shallow! The voice was American, I was certain. The engine was now idling, and someone was coming toward me. I could hear him padding across the sand. I said, Hello. There was no answer from the man. I suppose he was just staring at me. Then he yelled to someone on the boat, My Lord, it's a naked boy and a cat. The person on the boat yelled, Anyone else? I called out, Nope, just us. I began to move toward the man on the beach. He gasped, Are you blind? I said, Yes, sir. In a funny voice, he asked, Are you all right? I'm fine now. You're here, I said. He said, Here, boy, I'll help you. I said, If you'll carry Stu Cat, you can just lead me to the boat. After I had climbed aboard, I remembered Timothy's knife stuck in the palm tree. It was the only thing I wanted off the quay. The sailor who had carried Stu Cat went up the hill to get it while the other sailor asked me questions. When the first sailor came back from the hill, he said, You wouldn't believe what's up there. I guess he was talking about our hut and the rain catchment. He should have seen the ones Timothy built. I don't remember everything that happened in the next few hours, but very soon I was helped up the gangway of a destroyer. On deck, I was asked so many questions. All at once, that one man barked, Stop badgering him! Give him food, medical care, get him into a bunk! A voice answered meekly, Yes, sir, Captain. Down in sick bay, the captain asked, What's your name, son? Philip Enright. My father lives in Wilmestad. He works for the Royal Dutch Shell, I answered. The captain told someone to get a priority radio message off to the naval commander at Wilmestad and then asked, How'd you get on that little island? Timothy and I drifted onto it after the Hato was sunk. Where's Timothy? He asked. I told the captain about Timothy and what had happened to us. I'm not sure the captain believed any of it because he said quietly, Son, get some sleep. The Hato was sunk way back in April. I said, "Yes, sir, that's right." And then a doctor came in to check over me. That night, after the ship had been in communication with Wilmestad, the captain visited me again to tell me that his destroyer had been hunting a German submarine when the plane had spotted my black smoke and radioed back to the ship. There was still disbelief in his voice when he said he'd checked all the charts and publications on the bridge. Our K was so small that the charts wouldn't even dignify it with a name. But Timothy had been right. It was tucked back up in the devil's mouth. The next morning, we docked at the naval base in Cristobal, Panama, and I was rushed to a hospital, although I really didn't think it was necessary. I was strong and healthy, the doctor on the destroyer had said. My mother and father flew over from Wilmestad in a special plane. It was minutes before they could say anything. They just held me, and I knew my mother was crying. She kept saying, "Philip, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." The Navy had notified them that I was blind, so that it would not be a shock, and I knew I looked different. They'd brought a barber in to cut my hair, which had grown quite long. We talked for a long time, Stucat on my bed, and I tried to tell them all about Timothy and the K, but it was very difficult. They listened, of course, but I had the feeling that neither of them really understood what had happened on our K. 4 months later, in a hospital in New York, after many x-rays and tests, I had the first of 3 operations. The piece of timber that had hit me the night the Hato went down had damaged some nerves, but after the 3rd operation, when the bandages came off, I could see again. I would always have to wear glasses, but I could see. That was the important thing. In early April, I returned to Wilmestad with my mother, and we took up life where it had been left off the previous April. After I'd been officially reported lost at sea, she'd gone back to Curacao to be with my father. She had changed in many ways. She had no thoughts of leaving the islands now. I saw Henrique van Boven occasionally, but it wasn't the same as when we played the Dutch or the British. He seemed very young. So I spent a lot of time along St. Anna Bay and at the Reuterkade market talking to the black people. I liked the sound of their voices. Some of them had known old Timothy from Charlotte Amalie. I felt close to them. At war's end, we moved away from Charlou and Curacao. My father's work was finished. Since then, I've spent many hours looking at the charts of the Caribbean. I found Roncador, Rosalind, Quitoseño, Serranía Banks. I found Beacon Bay and North Cay and the islands of Providencia and San Andres. I've also found the Devil's Mouth. Someday, I'll charter a schooner out of Panama and explore the Devil's Mouth. I hope to find the lonely little island where Timothy is buried. Maybe I won't know it by sight, but when I go ashore and I close my eyes, I'll know this was our own K. I'll walk along East Beach and out the reef to the reef. I'll go up the hill to the row of palm trees and stand by his grave. I'll say, "Dis be dat outrageous K, eh, Timothy?" That's the end. He has written, Theodore Taylor has written another book that is a sequel to this, but I don't remember the name of it, and I'm sorry for that. It might be called, I don't know, I'm going to have to let you know. I'll look it up, and I'll send it in the email. So I'm going to send you an email with this link, and then at the end, along with that, I'm going to send you a YouTube video, and the video is of the movie The K. So you'll get to watch it. It's an old movie. It's kind of it's a little creepy in some spots, but it's really good. I mean, it's a really good movie. A lot of the book is missing from the movie, but I think you'll still enjoy it. So I'm gonna put that on your link that I'm gonna send you in your email. Okay. So that's the end. Tomorrow we're gonna read a new story. So I'm not gonna share that with you yet. You'll have to wait until tomorrow. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys.